welcome to Embodied Alchemy with me, Rebecca Wilson, an embodied experiential space for you to drop deep into the wealth of wisdom within your being and activate a fuller, richer you. I am an embodied business coach, embodiment queen, sacred business midwife, and alchemist. I will help you birth your visions and sacred business into the world from an easeful, embodied, and rooted space within. So you can be who you are here to be, create what you are here to create, and activate the wealth of energy that is you. I will activate you into self-leadership, self-mastery to create your legacy on earth. Welcome on the journey, my love. Hello, love, and welcome back to Embodied Alchemy, or welcome if this is your first time arriving into this space with us. Welcome to our community. Today's episode, I really wanted to explore and share with you the ways in which embodiment supports relationships. So first of all, I wanted to speak into why I really felt the calling to share this topic. And for me, it's been such an integral part of my healing journey, my embodiment practice and my embodiment processes have really supported me in allowing myself to open up to relationship and to heal the wounds that had been formed within relationship in my formative years. Because we all have experiences that happen in life that create contractions and closures inside of ourselves in our formative years, in our early years in relationship, because this is where the wounds arrive and it's also where they heal. And relationship, I just want to bring into and illuminate here, is all forms of relationship. We are in relationship to everything and everyone in varying degrees. Of course, we have the most intimate relationships within our family system. And, our parents, our guardians, our grandparents, and so on. And then from there, the relational connection alters and differs from people in your community, your neighborhood, school, teachers, all the way to a passing by of a person that you may have just a fleeting moment with. We are in some kind of relational dynamic with them, and we're in relationship to life. And most deeply, we're in relationship to ourselves. And most often we find that our triggers and wounds and pain points are touched or resurfaced or activated within relationship because this was where they were formed. For myself, I can honestly share that my embodiment practice and the process of really deeply arriving back into my body has been the anchor for me healing many, many wounds and triggers and activated parts of myself that were formed in early years. And actually for me, on a personal level, my embodiment practice has really allowed me to arrive back into my body. That's a key piece for myself. And I know it's also a vital piece for many of the women that I support, is that through life experiences, pains, traumas, upsets, disconnections, ruptures within the family system that never got truly repaired, there's been a severing off from that part of the self. There's been a disconnection, a disembodiment, a denial, some kind of nervous system response of fight or flight or freeze or fawn. And from that, those parts of the self have not been able to take the natural integration process through time or the maturation process. So we often end up living with these very young parts of ourselves still alive or even running the show, the inner child or the ego, however we look at these parts, these historical parts that haven't had their time to heal or integrate because they have disembodied, disassociated, disengaged, because they're frozen or they've fawned. And embodiment is the practice that allows the healing and the reawakening of these parts to integrate back into more wholeness so that we can actually take that maturation journey and allow these young parts of ourselves to mature into the right space and time so that we are more fully rooted and anchored in our present day self, our adult self, our embodied self, our being now. And when we are living from that place, so the place of the present moment, rather than the history of the past, we are more available for life, for ourselves, for all of the things that we wish to create, all of our desires and relationship. So how does embodiment support relationships? Well, first of all, it allows us to be more present. So just speaking into that point I just shared, when we are truly living in the present moment, we are in our present day expression of ourselves. We are not relating from the history of a pain or a trauma or a narrative or a story, what we made that historical experience mean about us. And we're not bringing it or dragging it forward into the present day moment and reenacting the old experience. Embodiment allows us to be more present in our body, present in our experiences, and present with the person or people that we are relating with at that point in time, whether that be family members, friends, partner, children. We're able to be truly present with them in the real, alive moment. Embodiment supports relationships as it allows you to take a journey of cultivating a deeper connection to yourself. We can only begin to truly connect into relationship outside of the self when we are connected to the relationship inside the self. Embodiment supports that by allowing a journey of truly recognizing, witnessing, allowing, feeling all of the expressions and sensations that come alive inside of yourself throughout your day-to-day experiences of life. You're more connected to your body, your feelings, the sensations that are alive, your needs, your wants, your desires. And that in turn supports you to cultivate a deeper relationship and deeper connection to others. There's that saying that we can only truly meet others to the depth that we meet ourselves, and others can only meet us to the depth they've met themselves. So embodiment really supports you arriving into that deep, centered, connected relationship with self that allows another to meet you there. You've opened up that space inside of you, which then allows another to meet you there. So you can be met in that depth and that connection in relationship. Embodiment also supports you to deepen into your heart. So this is a really powerful journey that I guide many, many women on. And it's the journey of coming back into the body, but also back into the heart space. Often through life experience, we deny, we shut down, we place barriers and walls around our hearts because at the time of the pain or the wound or the experience, it was just too hard, too heavy, too painful to stay open, and we didn't feel safe. So we barrier up. We place these walls or barriers or cages around our hearts, around ourselves, with the idea or the belief that will allow us to stay safe. But often these barriers actually just restrict us later on in life from truly being able to connect from our heart space, because there's this narrative that plays out that it's not safe. And this is not to say that it wasn't safe at the time. It's very likely that in these times that we adopted these strategies or coping mechanisms, it wasn't safe for us to stay open. We didn't feel safe to express our heart's needs, or to express love, or to express vulnerability. But as we grow and mature and develop, it becomes a journey for us then to recognize it wasn't safe then, or it didn't feel safe then, but now it is. And I choose to open beyond the history of the pain and the story into the present moment. And embodiment supports us to really unshackle and let down those walls and chains and barriers that we place around ourselves that constrict us and trap us. And that allows us to open our heart more to connection, to love, to intimacy, and to sharing our more deeper self with others. Embodiment supports you to become more available for relationship, more available for intimacy, more available for connection. And we do this in a way that is allowing us to stay present in the body, present in the moment, present in opening up to be seen, felt, witnessed, experienced by another or by others. Often, again, in these life experiences that we have, we shut down from being seen because it just felt too vulnerable or too much or not safe. And whatever the story is that we make it mean about ourselves, or we've made it mean, whatever the narrative is that we've held onto really tightly, when we take this journey of embodiment and embodied awakening, we begin to lay down all of these stories and recognize that they may not be so true, and we can loosen the grip from them now, and we can open these doors that have been closed inside of ourselves. And in doing that, we begin to open these pathways, if we will. Like, I see them as like all these winding corridors of energy or love inside of our being. And these corridors are just full of doors, and all the doors have been shut. These pathways. And as we walk these pathways inside of ourselves again or over and over, we meet these doorways that we find safety and trust to be able to open, to let that energy, that love, whatever that thing is inside of you, flow again. And that is where we become more available, because we're present in our body. We're anchored in the present moment. We're available for intimacy and connection now, here, as it is in the truth of the moment. Embodiment supports relationships by supporting you to be more able or better able to feel your emotions and feelings. Often when we have disassociated, disembodied, denied or rejected parts of ourselves to be safe, seen, loved, valued, appreciated, accepted, we have shut down specific areas of our emotional range. And we do this because maybe we decided at a young age that it's not safe to be angry. It's not okay to be sensitive. I must be the strong one because somebody else is the one in pain, or we all have our very unique narratives around these things. But what that does is ultimately, we block off a certain range of our expression or our emotional self and our emotional being by being in this narrative of that's not welcome, that's not okay, that's not who I am, I just don't cry, I'm not really angry. When in the truth is we are all everything, and every emotion is a valid expression to something that is alive within our inner world. And when we disconnect or disembody from them, we shut down vital parts of ourselves. We end up living underexpressed, which often leads to a feeling of not truly being yourself, your full self, your authentic self, your fullest expression, maybe never really feeling seen or heard by other people in relationship. And that's often because we're not bringing our full self forward. We can often feel suppressed or trapped in, but those suppressions and those shackles and that trapping is actually within the self, not in the external. So the journey of embodiment and embodied awakening supports you to be able to feel your emotions and feelings, more access to them, more availability to become aware of how you feel in moment to moment, how your body feels in certain interactions, in certain experiences, in certain relationships. And that allows you to deepen into safety within. When we are embodied, we are anchored inside of ourselves. We are rooted, grounded, earthed within our own being. Our anchor and our gravitational center is within. This allows us to cultivate an embodied safety, to be more available for love, connection, friendship, intimacy, to be more available to be heart-centered, heart-open, to feel that sense of safety in welcoming all of our feelings and emotions, knowing that they are all part of the great tapestry of who we are, of who you are. And we cultivate that safety in knowing that even if someone or something outside of me does not welcome this feeling, I am safe in holding that part of me. I am safe in expressing that part of me. I welcome this part of me. So it's welcome here. Embodiment here with that journey of cultivating deeper safety supports you to be able to regulate your nervous system in a more easeful way. Often, the experiences of tension or rupture that we experience in relationship come from a dysregulated nervous system. When we go into nervous system dysregulation, that is activated from a historical part of our being, not from the truth of the present moment. Most times, unless we are in that particular moment, a traumatic experience. But when we have these niggles or these triggers or these dysregulated states, we are often operating from a historical part of our being. And that creates tension or conflict or rupture within relationship. So as we come into embodiment, we are better able to regulate the dysregulated states of the nervous system, to soothe and calm the part that wants to go into fight, to ground and cultivate safety in the part that wants to flight, to soften and ease the tight and tense edges of the part that wants to freeze, and to find a steady, strong, powerful stance in the part that wants to fawn. So as we begin to regulate the nervous system from these dysregulated states, we're better able to repair rupture, conflict, disagreement, disharmony, tension from a regulated space. That also allows us to better able to co-regulate with the other person or people that we are in relationship with. So we're better able to attune our nervous system to their nervous system, to find a space of co-regulation. And from that space, a more open energy arrives, a more conscious communication is available, because we're not bringing the stories and the histories and the just like when this and this and this and all these things that can arrive in relationship. We're better able to open the heart, open the body, ground into the center, process and feel our feelings and emotions, and become more available for intimacy again. Embodiment supports relationships by supporting you to expand your capacity to hold more, to expand and lean into your edges, whatever they may be. For some people, it's being able to hold more tension or more conflict without needing to run away or to fight or to freeze or to fawn. For some people, it's expanding their capacity to hold more love, to receive more connection, more love, more intimacy, to be seen more deeply than they've ever felt they've been seen before. And there's many other expressions there. But embodiment supports your capacity to hold more. As we awaken through the body, we awaken to holding more of ourselves, more of the parts of us that we've abandoned, disassociated, denied, rejected, been told are not welcome. We re-invite them back. We bring them back. They get a seat at the table and you become more of yourself, a more fuller, embodied version of you, where you are truly welcoming all parts of you. And in that, you have a greater capacity to not only hold more parts of you, but to hold more parts of life, more parts of relationship, more parts of connection, intimacy, and so on. I know for myself, my journey of embodiment has been pivotal in the journey of healing relationship, to become more available for connection, intimacy, more available to be seen, truly seen in the most vulnerable parts and places, and to be able to share those parts in my partnership and within my relationships with friends in a really beautiful and profound way. And that in itself is such a healing balm for the heart, for the body, for the soul. And I really know that I wouldn't have arrived into this space inside of myself and the relationships that I have if it hadn't have been for my journey of embodiment and embodied awakening. It's been so vital for me to learn how to hold myself whilst being in the presence of another, while being able to bring forward the most vulnerable parts of myself and let them be seen by somebody else, to be able to hold myself whilst being held by another, to be able to soften into the love and connection that I experience in all of my relationships, and to also be able to open and pour and share that with others too. If you are here feeling all of the feels, feeling everything I have shared, just know that healing your relational patterns and healing yourself by arriving into that deeper, more present, connected relationship to yourself is the journey. It's the beginning of the journey, and it's where it all happens. And I have created the Embodied Awakening 10-month journey to support women on this path, to support women to heal their relationship to themselves, their bodies, to open up their heart space, to receive more love, to become more available for intimacy, pleasure, connection, to be able to share more the truth of themselves and who they are, to regulate and to be able to co-regulate nervous systems by being part of a community of women over a longer period of time. This 10-month container offers such a deep, potent dive into your inner world, held by me and held by the support of the community of the women around you. We begin February the 7th. This is our opening ceremony. This container is available for women to step into at any time throughout the year of 2023. If you are feeling the call, I welcome you to join us from the beginning. All the details will be in the show notes of this episode, linked below. It's the Embodied Awakening journey. 10 months, you receive one embodiment ceremony a month, one Q&A and coaching session a month, access to a Telegram community where you'll connect with all the other women and also myself. I will be in there supporting. You'll also receive access to an online course portal where you receive practices, meditations, recordings, journaling prompts for each of the modules that we will explore. It's a really rich, abundant space for you to step into. This container, this journey has been a accumulation of the last 7 to 10 years of my journey and my work and my practice, really feeling into what it is that women need to be able to fully step into their embodied awakening, to step into their power, pleasure, and themselves in a more connected and whole way. I'm here if you have any questions or anything you want to connect with me around. You can find me on Instagram at Rebecca_Wilson_. I love to chat with you all, so please feel that you're able to step into that space and connect with me there. And I look forward to welcoming the women that step into this space. It's going to be life-changing. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If you loved this musing and sharing, I would love for you to share this episode far and wide. You can arrive into all of my offerings at rebecca-wilson.com. Links to dive deeper with me are in the episode notes. Remember, my love, you are here to be the fullest, most potent, powerful, embodied version of you. I am here to guide you into that. Hey love, I'm dropping in here to welcome you to join us in our online community membership, The Village. I created this space for women to gather, to return to themselves, to deepen the connection and the relationship with self, whilst held in a community of like-minded women walking the journey and the path of their own awakening.